Hello and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. We're going to keep going with some things I know in the last episode. I was talking about needing a few things kind of all at once, and I kind of am at that point. I left a few days for the comments to kind of give me hints as what you guys thought we should do. Dan actually responded, and I'm getting the impression from his comment that, yeah, we should probably head for improved melee and better weapons and coal power, and that's kind of where I want to be. I did, since the last episode, come in and finish off the hard drives, so let me just pop in real quick and I'll go to hard drive. Still have two, so I'll show you what it does when you've researched the hard drive and there's nothing more to research. So we'll start that off. We'll come back in about 10 minutes and take a peek at that. But in the meantime, we said we wanted to look for, yeah, see, I'm still not going to get the jump pads yet. But other than that, 1 and 2 are done. And we need to complete Space Elevator Phase 1. So, again, if we look at the Space Elevator, which is over here, we said, I believe we needed the smart plating. And yeah, 50 smart plates. So again, if we take a peek, and I'm not sure if I want to try to build out that way or maybe out this way. Out by the, you know what? Maybe out this way toward the copper, because then I can bring the copper stuff together and that together. Well, let's take a look at the what do you call it? Codex here. Smart plating. It's going to require reinforced plates, which I can make here with the iron stuff, and rotors. And I have an alternate recipe of copper sheets and, let's open that codex. Rotor. Standard recipe is iron rods and screws. And an alternate is sheets, 6 sheets. It makes 10 per minute. 5 rods, 15 per minute. That'll get me 3 rotors per minute. It does 4, so I'd be like 11.25. I might actually go for this one. Yeah, just because I can get more faster. I mean, I could do iron rods and just have to speed up production of them to make more than 4 per minute. So let's go with the alternate recipe 1, see how that works out for us. And then reinforced plate right there. Got a couple of recipes here. I can get 15 per minute. Steel plate and 50 screws. Which again is 3 times that, so I might use that. Because I do have, actually, an alternate where I can go from iron ingots directly to 20 screws, and it makes 50 per minute, so it's a little faster than the standard recipe. Alright, so we're going to do the alternate recipes. And so the only one I need copper for was the rotor and screws. So I think what I'll do is come over. I think I'll set up. I'll expand the copper over here, and I'll set up some iron rolls, like sheets, or sorry, copper sheets, and then I'll kind of send them over that way, so the rest of it can be made in front of our ironworks. So let me get this figured out, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so I figured out what I'm going to do here, and just to give you a little rundown, it's already in process. I have 2 setups doing wire, and I have plenty of wire. I mean, a ton in here. And this will continue making more as I remove it and need it and whatever. That should be more than enough. So I don't need 2 runs, actually. So what I'm going to do is to come in here, and I'm going to change these 2 smelters to take the ingot, and I'll change the recipe to copper sheet, because it's 20 copper ingot per minute, coming in and 10 copper sheets per minute going out. And so I'll end up with 20 copper sheets per minute between the two constructors. And I'm going to just set that off to another container stack, probably next to it over here. And I added well, because each of these do 30 per minute, so that's 60 per minute coming out. And so it's emptying its buffer right now. I turned the constructors off. So there's 30 each, so it's 60 per minute, which Mark 1's supposed to be able to hold. Is it 30? Oh, I changed the recipe. Let me look at the other one of the wire, just to be sure I'm not losing my mind. Yeah, 30 per minute, so there's 60. But the Mark 1 here was actually slowing it down for some reason because it was backed up. So this is all kind of really backed up. So I just changed this one to a Mark 2, and then I put a little lift on the front of this to empty the container into the top one faster, which that's also a Mark 2. Well, this looks like it's about empty, and once it's empty, I'm going to cut this conveyor here. Let's build the container that we're going to use. While we're waiting for that. Yep, there it is. That. So yeah, then I'll just cut this belt, I'll pipe it into there and start up these doing the copper sheets while I go over to the iron and set up the rest of the rotor stuff. So that's what my plan is for the moment. And then I don't have to add any excess power usage because I'm already using the same machines I've been using. So that's the plan. I'm sticking to it. I'll see you in a minute. All right, the belts have emptied, the constructors have emptied. We now have a bunch of wire up in those two containers. This one's going to become the copper sheets. So let's just go ahead and turn these on now. I've already set the recipes. Turn that one on. Turn this one on. There we go. So now we should see copper sheets coming out. Indeed we do. And I've got them running over into that container now. Alright. So I'm going to let these run for a bit while I go over to the ironworks, and we will see what I can come up with over there for the rest of this. And I'll see you when I've got a better plan for what's over there. Alright, so I figured out the ironworks side of a little bit. I actually consolidated, if you remember, I had two lines. Oh shoot, that's not pretty. Oh well, it's curved. But I had two Mark 1 belts coming from, so I had one for each of my three miners. So what I did here is I was trying to figure out how I could split some of this up here, but I had no room really. So what I did is I merged the two of the miners down there with that merger and created a Mark 2 belt so it can carry it all. And then came over here to a splitter so that I can run 30 and 30 to these two things like they were already off of the one line of the Mark 1. And then, excuse me, put another 30 going this way to feed into this line, because I need to make sure that, oh, that's the wrong one. I need to make sure that these guys all run. They're taking in 30 a minute, and I now have 3 of them going, so that's 90 a minute. So I needed to add 30 more to be able to supply all these smelters. So this one's starting to get filled up, and it takes a while because the whole line has to saturate. This isn't a balance system, this is just a plain old manifold. So as you can see, that belt fills up first and it stops, which puts more resources down here. Eventually this one will stop because the smelter's full, and then finally this last one will fill up. But in the meantime, it's producing the ingots as fast as it can, and we've got them on Mark 1 belts at the moment because they're only coming out at 30 per minute on the ingots, and I've only got 2 smelters doing it, so that's 60. That's fine. And then I split them into 3 constructors on that alternate screw recipe, it takes 12.5 per minute. So with 3 of them, that means what, 36, 37.5, so call it 38 per minute is what I need total. And that 60 per minute on this belt is more than enough. So then, using that alternate recipe, it takes the ingots directly into bolts, or screws rather, and of course I added another container up there for screws as well. So then I should be able to take the screws and rods, I left this one over here being as rods, and I don't know, I'm thinking I might go up, make a second floor somehow, and then put maybe a lift on these containers or something to get the rods and screws upstairs, because I think we need smart plating. Smart plating, the rotors. Nope, don't need the rods for that. I don't need the rods at all. Never mind. But I need to make the reinforced plate. Okay. So yeah, but still, making a second floor to make the reinforced plate and the rotors might be a good idea instead of expanding out, you know, horizontally. Let's start going a little vertically. So, to that effort, we'll probably start doing that back here somehow. Maybe set up some walls. How high would I have to go? Well, let's get some perspective here. Yeah, I'm gonna want to clear all the smelters, and that wouldn't quite do it. So 3 rows. And then we should be able to put foundations down. We'll do the I do a 4 on top though. No. So maybe what I should do is do another wall. And then put the 4-meter foundations in. I've seen some tricks on other channels to make, like, you hollow out the floor this way. Some way, like, maybe I'm not doing it right. You know what? Forget it. We'll stick with basic for the moment. 1-meter foundations on this level. And I'll find a way to get some stairs up to them. So yeah, let me go see about making a second floor here and getting some access to it. We'll see in a minute. Alright, I've been dancing around doing a whole bunch of stuff here, and I'm getting plates up there. I got the floor set up a little bit, so it's a second story working area. But I forgot about the hard drive in here, showing you what happens when you research a hard drive that there isn't any research left. So if I go in to configure the MAM, this is what it tells you after it's done research. Analysis of hard drive is complete. No new research is available. Try again later after further progress. Your hard drive has been returned to you. Confirm. And so now I see I'm back to 2 hard drives. So that's how you know that you've researched everything, which is good, because I really was hoping to be able to do that before we advance to the next tiers with the smart plating and the space elevator. So I managed to get that done. So anyway, that's what happens. And I'm going to continue on this upstairs, and I did have to run over and refill my generators too. When I first popped over here, it was 3 left, so I refilled those. Luckily, I still had some in my container. But I am going to have to go on a biomass hunt pretty soon, And but I won't bore you guys with that one when I do it. I'll just go gather it and make some more biofuel. But again, that's the reason for wanting to go to coal power. But yeah, so I made a little ramp right here to be able to get up. Oh, that's neat, like Saturn. Anyway, so this is going to be a little assembly area. So I want to try to find a way to get the steel plates and the screws to come in over here. And then maybe I'll bring the copper in over here toward the back, so I can get hopefully the smart plating and the rotors done up here. I'm sorry, not smart plating, the reinforced plates and the rotors to make smart plating up on the second level here. So that's what I'm hoping for. So let me keep at it, and I'll see you on the other side. Gotta love this catch-22. In order to build the rotors, I need, I believe it's the assembler, right? So let's go smart plating, rotors. Yeah, my recipe requires an assembler if I'm doing the copper sheets on the bolts. So I need to make an assembler. But to make an assembler, I need 4 rotors. So with the recipe I'm trying to do, I can't make the rotors without an assembler, and I can't make an assembler without the rotors. So that's kind of a catch-22. Good thing I can use the original recipe and do it at the craft bench to get 4 to build my assembler. Crazy stuff, man. Alright, here we go. I'll be right back. Alright, I have enough to make my assembler. So what I've done to this part, at least to this level, is I've brought up the iron plates from over there, and I've decided I'm not worrying about pretty, because the way everything's working, I'm going to have to rebuild all of this anyway, but I want to get a little bit further before I do that. So I said the heck with prettiness for the moment. For efficiency, I'm going to have to really tear all this down anyway, especially when I get Mark III belts and the industrial containers and stuff. It's really going to be better. So I don't want to worry too much about, oh, it must be pristine at this point, because it really doesn't. But we'll get there. So what I did, I brought the steel plates up, and I figured out using maths, yeah, my favorite subject, right? That no matter what, I'm not going to have enough supply, even with a Mark II belt. I can only do 120 per minute. With my alternate recipes, I figured I was going to need like 100 or 250 something screws per minute if I use both my alternates. And there's no way I can get that up here, not without Mark III and Mark IV belts. So I'm just going to go with the standard recipe, well, except for the copper plates one, not for the rotor, the copper sheets. I'm going to use that one. But otherwise, everything's going to be pretty standard. So yeah, I got the screws up here, and I used a stackable conveyor pole and a regular conveyor pole, so at least I can have a single run instead of having side-by-side belts. And I'm bringing the copper sheets up over here. And yes, maths is not my subject, really isn't. And the funny thing is, I gotta tell you, and I think it's maybe just because my brain shuts off. I'm actually a software developer by trade, so I'm writing code and algorithms and all that stuff during the day, formulas, and by the end of the workday, I'm just like burnt. You know what I mean? So my brain doesn't work after work. So please forgive me. But anyway, so I have enough now to make the assembler. So this is going to be the end result I want, and I want to make sure I have enough room to put a storage container. So let's maybe do the assembler. So it's going to be the rotors. Maybe right back here, because maybe I can line it up a little bit. Can't really see. Yeah, I can't really line it up with that. That's all right. I don't want clipping. So I'll leave I'll leave a couple foundations just so we can have some room to do stuff. Put the assembler there, and let's configure it. This is going to do 16 seconds for. Oh shoot. Maybe I can't do this one. Let's find out. We'll set it for it. 195 a minute. Yeah, there's no way I can't do that. Never mind. So that really means I need to bring rods up and not the copper sheets. But it's okay. I'll need the copper sheet production anyway for pipes down the line. So we'll do standard rotor. Yeah, 100 per minute. That's what I'm looking at for the moment. Screws and iron rods. So we don't need you. Bye-bye. And I'll deal with that later. Where's my iron rod production? Again, not going for pretty at this point. Don't really care anymore. There's iron rods coming into here. So if that's the case, I'm going right over it with this belt. Oh, jeez. So wrong. It's clipping through the belts and everything. Okay. I know I said I'm not going for pretty, but I don't want nasty either. Oh boy. Alright, let me figure this out. Be right back. Alright, so like with anything, best laid plans need adjustment. Yeah, again, it's my maths. There's no way that any of this was going to work right, so I'm doing the basic recipes. And as I'm doing this, we're going to need 60 screws per minute on this one. The 30 iron plate. 30 iron plate we can handle, no problem. 60 screw per minute. Okay, well, I've got a line coming out. That's a 120 line, so it's getting 60. The problem is that over here for this assembler, for the rotors, it needs 100 screws per minute. Well, I only have Mark II belts are coming up at 120, which means that this is getting 60 per minute like it needs. All right, so that should run fine. This one, however, is getting 40 per minute less than it needs. So this one will stall out on the rotors. So we're going to have him and an RN up here on this guy. He's going to start and stop for sure, because he's not going to have enough rotors. He uses 2 per minute. So, and this supposedly makes 4 per minute. So I don't know. Maybe it'll work out. It should. Oh, maybe it will keep up just because it does 4 per minute. But the next assembler is going to use 2 per minute, so it's half the time. So we'd need 50 screws per minute to keep up. That might work. I don't know. We'll see. But again, don't count on my math tonight. So all I really got to do now, I've got everything belted up and ready. So I just need to find some power to bring up here. Somehow, some way. Power? Should be some power. There we are. Alright, we'll connect to that one. Wow, that's a bit of a ways away, isn't it? Let's connect to this one. I don't really want to clip the... prefer not to clip anything. Yeah, I'll just put it there for the moment. And now let's go take a look. I'm gonna need... I think I'll run the power this way. Put another set of foundations out, actually. Got a little bit of room to walk behind it. And flip that, that's fine. And then I think I can clip there too, that's fine. This one here. which will start making the rotors. Let's check our grid too while we're at it. Oh, max consumption 137. 152. Our max consumption has gone over our capacity. I've got 2 more machines. Shoot. How much do these use? 15. Yeah, alright. I need to add another bio burner. Or I'm going to, well actually, how much are we using at the moment? Yeah, our consumption is down pretty low. Still risky. We'll see what happens. I might blow a fuse. And then from here, and finally, these are going to cycle, and you know, as it runs out of materials or whatever, it'll stop, so it doesn't do a whole consumption load. We already got 1 rotor coming out. Yep, get some reinforced plate going. So this guy, yeah, that's on. It's making them. So we need a container. Let's go to organization, grab a container. Yep, let's do that. Put it fairly close, I think. Go. And we'll belt these in there. We should see smart plating coming out. There we go. Smart plating. So now we can let these build up. 1. So it's going to take a while to get to 50, but that's okay. Let's see. 2 hours of recording time is probably going to end up being like a 20-minute video. So much construction going on. Not sure what else we're going to try to cover. I think I'm just going to let those run and build up the plates. So yeah, maybe, again, I got to edit it, break it down. It's over 2 hours of recording. It's actually getting to be about midnight for me. So I think I'm going to call this an episode, however long it ends up being. After editing, and we'll go from there. Yeah, I definitely want to rebuild all this stuff, but anyways, we're on our way. We're gonna get the space elevator to unlock the other tiers so we can get to the melee weapons and the coal power, which is we're gonna definitely need, because I really don't want to be messing with all those biogenerators if I can help it, and running around to get fuel, but I'm gonna have to do that anyway. So I'll do some fuel for the next episode, so you know, we don't have to worry about it. I don't have to film it or record it or anything. I'll just go gather up the biomass. But in the meantime, hope you're enjoying, and I do thank you for watching. And I don't know. Until next time, take care.